Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lin. Namaskar. Coming up in this program, Prime Minister Modi unveils a 6,300 crore rupee development push in Assam's Darang with the aim to boost healthcare, urban mobility and regional connectivity. PM Modi to inaugurate Assam Bio-Ethanol plant and also lay the foundation stone for the polypropylene unit at NRL, boosting clean energy as well as petrochemical growth in Golaghat in Assam. Top US diplomat Marco Rubio is in Israel amid tensions over the Doha strike. He reaffirmed the Trump's administration support for Israel against Hamas. In sports, the stage is set in Dubai for a blockbuster face-off between India and Pakistan in the Asia Cup. And India's Jaismine Lamboria bags the gold at the World Boxing Championships in England, overcoming the Paris Olympic silver medalist Julia Sverameta in the finals. It is day two of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Assam. The Prime Minister began day two of his visit by visiting the state's Darang district, which in fact is located on the north bank of the river Brahmaputra. It's considered the lifeline of the northeastern state of Assam. Now, aiming to boost the health and infrastructure of this region, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone for projects worth 6,300 crore rupees at Mangaldoy in Assam's Darang district. The projects include the Darang Medical College as well as hospital and the GNM school and BSc Nursing College, which will go a long way in strengthening medical education and healthcare delivery in the region. Another important project, the foundation stone for which was laid, includes the Kuruva Narengi Bridge. This is over the river Brahmaputra. It is going to be improving connectivity as well as promoting socio-economic development in the region. The foundation stone was also laid for the Guwahati Ring Road project. It's going to enhance urban mobility, decongest traffic and improve connectivity in and around the capital city. Now, the Prime Minister was warmly felicitated on the stage at the event in Darang. There was visible excitement among the crowds as well, the crowds of people who had gathered in Darang to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister and listen to his address. Now, during that address, the Prime Minister hailed the next generation GST reforms. Take a listen.
आज से ठीक 9 दिन के बाद नवरात्रि का पहला दिन होगा। जीएसटी की दरें बहुत कम हो जाएगी और इससे असम के, देश के हर परिवार को फायदा होगा। रोजमर्रा की बहुत सारी चीजें और सस्ती हो जाएगी। हमने सीमेंट पर टैक्स कम किया है। इसके लिए जिसको घर बनाना है उसका खर्चा कम होगा। कैंसर जैसी अनेक गंभीर बीमारियों की अनेक महंगी दवाएं सस्ती हो जाएगी। बीमा कराना सस्ता हो जाएगा और जिस नौजवानों को मोटरसाइकिल लेनी है, नई कार खरीदनी है, वो भी सस्ती हो जाएगी। आजकल आप देखते होंगे मोटर कंपनियों में ऐसी होड़ मची है, एडवर्टाइजमेंट दे रहे हैं 60,000 कम, 80,000 कम, 1 लाख रुपया कम, लगातार इससे जुड़े विज्ञापन दे रहे हैं। यानी माताएं बहनें हो, नौजवान हो, किसान हो, दुकानदार हो, सबका फायदा होने वाला है। ये फैसला आपके त्योहारों की चमक और बढ़ाने वाला है।
And the Prime Minister went around the exhibition at the venue. He got a detailed brief on the projects that the foundation stone for which he laid today. At Numaligarh in Golaghat, Prime Minister will inaugurate the Assam Bio-Ethanol plant at the Numaligarh Refinery Limited, the NRL. This is at Golaghat, and this is aimed at promoting clean energy as well as reducing dependence on fossil fuels. The Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of the polypropylene plant there as well, and this is going to add significant value to Assam's petrochemical sector. It will generate employment opportunities and lead to the overall socio-economic development of the region. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today inaugurated a two-day national conference of the Committee on the Empowerment of Women in Parliament and the state and union territory legislatures in Tirupati city of Andhra Pradesh. The first such conference marks a renewed national dialogue on women's empowerment, with a focus on equipping women to lead in the age of technological change.
ये धरती नारी शक्ति के शताब्दी योगदान की धरती है। तो मुझे खुशी है कि भारत में बड़े पदों पर महिलाओं का नेतृत्व हर क्षेत्र में रहा है, चाहे सामाजिक क्षेत्र हो, चाहे राजनीति क्षेत्र हो, चाहे विज्ञान का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे टेक्नोलॉजी का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे खेल का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे अंतरिक्ष का क्षेत्र हो। आज इसीलिए हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हमारी राष्ट्रपति भी महिला का नेतृत्व कर रही है।
Earlier today, the Lok Sabha Speaker offered prayers at the Venkateshwara Swami Temple in Tirumala, and after a serene and spiritual darshan, Om Birla participated in the temple rituals. Offering his prayers, he expressed gratitude for the blessings of Lord Venkateshwara. The Shri Mata Vaishno Devi Yatra has been suspended from the 20th consecutive day, due to landslides, adverse weather as well as safety concerns. Pilgrims arriving in the Katra area, they remain disappointed as the Vaishno Devi Yatra continues to be halted. Devotees travelled with the hope of going for the darshan, and after hearing the Yatra's possible resumption, that's when they went there, only to find it postponed again because of rain and safety issues. Many recall the tragedy of the recent casualties on the route and understand as well the Shrine Board's caution. Despite the setback, faith in Mata Rani remains strong, with the devotees expressing hope of a return to the pilgrimage as soon as it reopens. The Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, L. Murugan, visited Punjab to take stock of the situation in Rupnagar district. The minister also inspected damaged crops, including maize and paddy, in fields. Addressing the media, the minister reiterated the Prime Minister's resolve that the centre is standing with Punjab in this hour of crisis, and every support will be provided to bring back the agrarian state on track.
Our Prime Minister assured to the public whatever the possibilities, help from the central government, jointly with the state government, we are working closely for the situation. And also our Honorable Prime Minister announced that 1,600 crore relief to the state also in that same day. For that follow-up, our under the guidance of our Honorable Prime Minister, The 16 ministers are going to travel this entire state and the district wise. There are already 7 ministers are visited, and the remaining ministers are going to come to the district level to take the situation and to meet the people and console the people.
The India Meteorological Department has forecast continued heavy to very heavy rainfall across several parts of the country for the next 2 to 3 days. According to the IMD, heavy rainfall is expected over Odisha, Maharashtra, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Yanam, Chhattisgarh, Telangana till tomorrow. Heavy rainfall is also very likely over Assam, Meghalaya, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Konkan, Goa. The Weather Department further predicted that conditions are becoming favorable for the withdrawal of the southwest monsoon from some parts of western Rajasthan from Monday onwards. Hindi Divas is being observed today. Now, the Hindi language ranks as the world's 4th most spoken language, following English, Spanish and Mandarin. It's widely spoken in North India as a mother tongue. Hindi is also an Indo-Aryan language written in the Devanagari script and is recognized as the official language of India. It's one of the Union government's 2 official languages alongside English and one of 22 scheduled languages of India. Hindi Divas aims to promote and propagate this official language while serving as a patriotic reminder of India's shared roots and unity among its diverse population. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended greetings on Hindi Divas. Sharing his greetings on X, the Prime Minister wrote, and I quote, "Heartfelt greetings to all on Hindi Divas. Hindi is not merely a medium of communication, but a vibrant heritage of our identity and values. On this occasion, let us all together resolve to enrich Hindi along with all Indian languages and to pass them on to the coming generations with pride. The growing respect for Hindi on the global stage is a matter of pride and inspiration for all of us," unquote. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah extended his greetings on Hindi Divas, and he called Hindi a language of national unity. In his video message, he said that Hindi is a priceless gem of linguistic unity. It is moving forward by taking all languages with it.
भारत की भाषाओं की सबसे बड़ी विशेषता यह रही है कि उन्होंने हर वर्ग और समुदाय को अभिव्यक्ति का अवसर दिया। पूर्वोत्तर में बिहू का गान, तमिलनाडु में ओवियालू की आवाज़, पंजाब में लोहड़ी के गीत, बिहार में विद्यापति की पदावली, बंगाल में बाउल संत के भजन, कजरी गीत, भिखारी ठाकुर की विदेशियाँ, इन सब ने हमारी संस्कृति को जीवन और लोक कल्याणकारी बनाया है।
And India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar also extended his greetings on Hindi Divas. He wrote on X, and I quote, "Heartfelt greetings on Hindi Divas. Hindi is an important aspect of the growing global interest in our culture and traditions. Special congratulations to all linguists and Hindi enthusiasts engaged in the promotion and propagation of the Hindi language worldwide," unquote. The Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on X wrote, and I quote, "Heartfelt greetings to all fellow citizens on Hindi Divas. Hindi is not merely a language but a powerful expression of our national consciousness, cultural identity and emotional unity. From the freedom struggle to the present day, Hindi has played a crucial role in uniting this nation. Let us resolve to preserve and promote Hindi and all Indian languages. This resolve will make our nation even stronger," unquote. In Jammu and Kashmir's Aknoor, the Indian Army organized a debate competition at a border school on the occasion of Hindi Divas 2025. Now, students enthusiastically spoke on the theme of Hindi hai, Hind ki dhadak, highlighting the significance of Hindi as a unifying language. The initiative, in fact, aimed to promote cultural pride and also to encourage young voices at the border. Hindi Divas is being celebrated all over the world as a reminder of India's national pride and cultural heritage. People in Spain celebrated the day, resonating the message that Hindi is a bond that unites people across borders and generations.
It is a matter of great pride to be part of this special celebration of Hindi Divas, where we celebrated Hindi not just as a language, but as a symbol of India's identity and shared pride. On 14 September 1949, Hindi was adopted as the official language of India, and ever since then has been celebrated all over the world as a reminder of our national pride and cultural heritage.
The evening began with a thoughtful presentation on the significance of Hindi Divas. The winners of the online competition were recognized with a prize distribution ceremony for their commitment. It was inspiring to see how, even from afar, our community continues to connect with the language so deeply. The stage came alive with a vibrant dance performance by the children of the Indian diaspora. It was more than just a dance. It was a reminder that our younger generation, no matter how far they live, continue to embrace their cultural roots. The intricate expressions, the rhythm, and the grace of the dancers brought to life centuries of India's artistic heritage.
I done Hindi Guru in Spain since 2007, and we have got many students from Spain. Basically, they are Spanish people who likes to learn Hindi, and they live here, and that makes them easier to learn in Spain, in Madrid.
This event was actually spectacular, and there have been many dances and all. And my parents really want that me and my brother connect more to our mother nation, speak more Hindi, and well, it was awesome.
Following this, we enjoyed a Hindi play that combined humor, drama, and reflection. Theatre has always been a mirror to society, and this performance reminded us how effectively Hindi conveys both emotion and thought. The evening concluded with a soulful poetry recitation. Listening to the poems reminded us that Hindi is not just a means of communication, it is a vessel of imagination, emotion, and timeless artistry.
Every year we celebrate in Madrid. We organize like poetry, dance, essay writing competitions for everyone, and people enthusiastically they participate here, give their best, and they feel it's a festival.
As the program drew to a close, one message resonated clearly, that Hindi is a bond that unites us all, and it is our responsibility to nurture and promote the language. Today's celebration was a reminder that either through dance, poetry, or simple conversation, Hindi continues to be the voice of India globally. This is Atman Sandhu in Spain for DD India.
The Indian Air Force is set to bid farewell to the iconic MiG-21 fighter aircrafts after more than 6 decades of service. Now, the aircraft will be formally de-inducted on September 26 with a special ceremony at the Air Force Station Chandigarh. The event will mark the end of an era for the MiG-21, which first entered service in the early 1960s.
For decades, the MiG-21 has been the backbone of India's aerial defense. Standing watch, answering every call, carrying the pride of the nation into the skies. Not just a fighter, but a symbol of resilience. Metal shaped by men. Men shaped by courage. From 1971 to Balakot, it stood firm. As its engines fall silent, the MiG-21 leaves the skies, etched forever in the history of Indian air power.
Seven new properties, including Deccan Traps at Panchgani, Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra, the national heritage of Tirumala Hills in Andhra Pradesh have been added to the tentative list of UNESCO's World Heritage for India. The permanent delegation of India to UNESCO said that the addition of these properties highlights India's commitment to the preservation and conservation of its rich cultural heritage. The Jammu and Kashmir Police organized the 26th edition of the Jashin-e-Dal. This is known as the Grand Hello India Water Games at the iconic Dal Lake. Now, what's happened is that the annual sporting and cultural extravaganza was launched actually in 1999, and it drew over 700 participants competing across 20 disciplines, many of them Olympic and Asian Games events. Now, this year's highlight was the introduction of the dragon boat competitions. In fact, it added vibrancy to the Dal waters. Young athletes, some as young as 8, displayed enthusiasm and talent, underscoring Kashmir's sporting potential. Organizers emphasized the role of the Games in boosting tourism, showcasing the valley's natural beauty and strengthening bonds between police and the public. The J&K Police announced that the next major event, a judo cluster in October, will see participation from 3,000 athletes nationwide. Let's take a look at other stories making news. Indian researchers have developed assistive sewing machines using hand control technology to replace foot pedals, empowering differently abled women in garment making. The breakthrough, with three patients, including a haptic glove and gesture sensor, enables ease, safety and independence. Over 300 women have already been trained, turning this innovation into both livelihood support and a step towards dignity and inclusion. The Government of India will launch the second phase of the Viksit Krishi Sankalp Abhiyan with a 2-day National Agriculture Conference, Rabi Abhiyan 2025 at Pusa, New Delhi from September 15. Chaired by the Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the meet will set production targets and strategies for the upcoming Rabi season. Still to come here on DD India Live. Thousands of anti-immigration protesters marched through London. Anti-racism campaigners flagged concerns. Annual Peace Bell ceremony was held at the United Nations headquarters in New York.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Mark Lynn. Here's a recap of the main stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveils a 6,300 crore rupee development push in Assam's Darang with the aim to boost healthcare, urban mobility and regional connectivity. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate Assam Bio-Ethanol plant and lay the foundation stone for a polypropylene unit at NRL, boosting clean energy and petrochemical growth in Golaghat, Assam. The top US diplomat Marco Rubio is in Israel amid tensions over Doha strike, reaffirms Trump administration support for Israel against Hamas. And in sports, the stage is set in Dubai for a blockbuster face-off between India and Pakistan in the Asia Cup. Also, India's Jaismine Lamboria has bagged the gold at the World Boxing Championship in England, overcoming the Paris Olympic silver medalist Julia Sverametha in the finals. Some international news now. The U.S. President Donald Trump, his top diplomat, Marco Rubio, has arrived in Israel. He did so on Sunday amid tensions with the U.S. ally in West Asia, all the allies there, over Israel's strike on Hamas's leaders in Qatar. This is also an expansion of settlements in the occupied West Bank. Now, Rubio and his wife, Jeanette, they were greeted by the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, upon disembarking at the Ben Gurion International Airport near Tel Aviv. During his visit, he will meet with Israeli leadership. He's going to discuss the war in Gaza and other regional affairs, as well as a possible recognition of an independent Palestinian state by all the major European powers at the UNGA later this month. The visit is taking place after the U.S. President rebuked Israel over the unprecedented attack against Hamas leaders meeting in Doha on Tuesday. Speaking to reporters before his departure, Rubio reiterated that the U.S. And the Trump administration were not happy about these strikes. Rubio said that the United States' relationship with Israel would not be affected, but that he would discuss with the Israelis how the strike would affect Trump's desire to secure the return of all hostages held by Hamas and also get rid of the militants and end this Gaza war.
It's not going to shake our relationship with Israel. Is going to remain strong. And sometimes, things happen or come up in those relationships that perhaps you're not 100% aligned with or what have you. But it's not going to change the nature of our relationship with the Israelis. But we are going to have to talk about it. Primarily, what impact does this have? What happened? What impact does that have moving forward on what comes next?
After Israel, Rubio is due to join Trump's planned visit to Britain next week. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Saturday that eliminating Hamas's leaders would bring an end to the conflict in Gaza. Accusing Hamas of repeatedly derailing ceasefire efforts, Netanyahu posted on X that Hamas terrorists' chiefs living in Qatar don't care about the people in Gaza. They blocked all ceasefire attempts in order to endlessly drag out the conflict. His comments came shortly after Rubio told reporters that while President Donald Trump was not happy about the Qatar strike, their alliance would be unaffected. The Israeli protesters on Saturday marched to Hostages Square in Tel Aviv for an immediate release of the hostages held in Gaza and to end the conflict in Gaza. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, meanwhile, said that the incursion of Russian drones into Polish airspace this week was unacceptable. He added that it remained unclear if Moscow had deliberately sent these drones.
Well, there's still a lot of gathering happening. Irrespective, it shouldn't have happened. I don't think anybody's happy about it seeing happen. You saw NATO respond to it appropriately. We don't want to see it happen again. We think it's a unacceptable and unfortunate and dangerous development in this regard. I think it'll take a few more days for everybody to fully... the drones were intentionally launched. There's no doubt about the drones were intentionally launched. The question is whether the drones were targeted to go into Poland specifically. If that's the case, if the evidence leads us there, then obviously that'll be a highly escalatory move. There are a number of other possibilities as well, but I think we'd like to have all the facts and consult with our allies before we make specific determinations.
Russia and Belarus continued a major joint military exercise on NATO's doorstep on Saturday at a time of heightened tensions with the Western alliance. Earlier in the week, Poland shot down Russian drones that crossed into the airspace. The Zapad 2025 exercise, a show of force by Russia and its close ally Belarus, is taking place at training grounds in both countries, including close to the Polish border. It was scheduled well before the drone incident, which marked the first known occasion that a NATO member had fired against incoming Russian targets in the course of the 3.5-year conflict. Russia's defense ministry said that in the first phase of the exercise, troops would simulate repelling an attack against Russia and Belarus, whose alliance is known as the Union State. Australia will spend around $8 billion on upgrading shipyard facilities for a future fleet of nuclear-powered submarines. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced on Sunday that the investment is to be spent over a decade to transform a shipbuilding and maintenance precinct in Perth. The shipyard deployment is part of a major military restructuring to improve Australia's long-range strike capabilities in the face of China's expanding military strength across the Pacific. Kim Yo-jong, who's the sister of North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un, condemned the upcoming joint military drills by South Korea, the United States and Japan, calling it a reckless show of strength that would bring bad results. South Korea, the United States and Japan are set to hold joint military drills from Monday through Friday off the South Jeju Island, combining naval, air as well as missile defense exercises to better prepare against threats. Seoul and Washington, which stations around 28,500 troops in South Korea, will also stage a tabletop military exercise aimed at integrating their military assets. The annual Peace Bell ceremony was held at the United Nations headquarters in New York ahead of the International Day of Peace on the 21st of September. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres rang the bell with Nakagawa Seiko, who is the daughter of the Japanese peace activist who donated it in 1954. Guterres called on nations to act now for a peaceful world. Warning of multiplying conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza, he prayed for peace. The Utah trade school student jailed on suspicion of fatally shooting the right-wing activist Charlie Kirk faces formal charges next week from an act of violence widely seen as a foreboding inflection point in U.S. politics. According to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, Tyler Robinson, age 22, was arrested on Thursday night after relatives and a family friend alerted authorities that he had implicated himself in the crime. The arrest capped a 33-hour manhunt for the lone suspect in Wednesday's killing, which President Donald Trump has called a heinous assassination. Robinson, a third-year student in the electrical apprenticeship program at Dixie Technical College, part of Utah's public university system, was taken into custody at his parents' house about 260 miles southwest of the crime scene. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called the death of the right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk as a tragic and ironic. He called it tragic and ironic. Rubio remembered Kirk as a man who engaged in respectful debate.
I think he had an enormous influence on young people. Primarily, I think the most ironic part about all the Charlie Kirk situation, tragedy, is he was actually one of the few people out there that was engaged. A lot of people go out and give speeches. He was actually engaged in back and forth. I felt very respectful debate with people that disagree with him. And so I think it's tragic and ironic at the same time that one of the few people out there that was engaged in that sort of debate back and forth on these topics, some of which are highly emotional and highly divisive, but nonetheless was verbally engaged. That's one of the voices that someone tried to go in silence through this horrible tragedy.
Mourners grieving the loss of Charlie Kirk gathered at the Turning Point headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday. In fact, on Saturday, the memorial site was filled with balloons, flowers, and American flags. People took turns holding up a cross at the site, which others, in fact, signed. They signed posters there. Several supporters also gave speeches.
Charlie just kept pursuing his dream.
Moving across now, Kathmandu Valley gives a deadly view of charred buildings, as well as, one can find proof of loot and arson under the garb of the Gen Z protest. Kathmandu Valley is struggling to bring life back on track. Gen Z on Saturday night across different parts of Kathmandu Valley, including Bodha, Tamil, and in other areas where the youth had lost their lives on September 8 protests. They got together and they lit candles. They sang the national anthem of Nepal. They paid obeisance to the dead who lost their lives in the 2 days of Gen Z protests. Meanwhile, preparations are also ongoing for setting up a new office for the newly appointed Prime Minister Sushila Karki in the new building of the Home Ministry, as the Prime Minister's office was torched by the demonstrators. Now, the Prime Minister Karki has inspected the police offices at different places in Kathmandu that were damaged during the Gen Z revolt. Most of the police offices under the Kathmandu Valley, the police office, these offices have largely suffered damages during the protests. The Prime Minister visited injured people who are getting treated in civil hospital at the National Trauma Center. More than 300 public vehicles left Kathmandu Valley from the new bus park on the weekend after 5 days of closure of the bus park in the wake of the Gen Z revolt. Public vehicles moved in both directions to their destinations from Kathmandu. However, the pre-ticket booking for the public vehicles is yet to open for the Doordarshan festival. This starts from September 22. In Ladakh, Prime Minister, I beg your pardon, in fact, this is called the PM Shri School. It's a government school. It's a middle school there. This school has organized an inspiring exposure tour under the PM Shri scheme 2025-26, taking students to the historic Dras Valley. As part of this tour, students, they visited the Kargil War Memorial, the Draupadi Kund, and the picnic spot. This is where they learned about the sacrifices of national heroes and strategic importance of Dras Valley and the future impact of the Zojila Tunnel project. This initiative reflects the vision of the new education policy, which emphasizes experimental learning, holistic development, and connecting students with culture, heritage, and national pride. By combining patriotism, cultural awareness, and recreational activities, the tour provided students with valuable life lessons beyond classroom walls. Teachers highlighted that such exposure helps nurture responsible citizens with a strong sense of identity and appreciation for India's diversity and unity. News from China, and their military has conducted routine patrols in the South China Sea. But before we give you that news, let's go across live now. Visuals coming in from Golaghat. The Prime Minister inaugurating the Assam Bio-Ethanol Private Limited at the Numaligarh Refinery plant. It's a groundbreaking initiative for clean energy. Now, it's actually a joint venture between Numaligarh Refinery Limited and a Finnish company. These shots we received earlier. Now, the companies are from Finland are the Fortum and Chempolis. These are the companies that are in partnership with the Numaligarh Refinery Limited. This project has been about 5,000 crores worth. It started in 2018 for a bioethanol plant. And the interesting thing is about the technology involved. It uses bamboo biomass, which is abundant, as we know, in the Northeast. And it is going to produce ethanol of about 48,900 metric tons per year, and various other, important aspects related to it. And it's supposed to achieve a 99.7% pure ethanol in trial runs. That's what happened. We're looking at this as a zero waste facility as well, because every part of the bamboo is utilized. There is green electricity that's going to be generated. It generates about 25 megawatts of renewable power. So there's net zero goals supporting India's push for carbon neutrality. We can see that the push for ethanol is reducing India's reliance on fossil fuels. Prime Minister also looking at various exhibits at this project site. It's also going to help boost the bamboo sector, bamboo farming, harvesting, logistics. It's also going to help us reduce our imports, India, because by supporting ethanol blending, we are going to, import less crude. It's part of the 18,530 crore rupee development package for Assam. It's not just a refinery, but it's also about innovation, sustainability, regional development. Shows how all these things can come together. The Prime Minister will also be later, he's going to be talking about a polypropylene plant as well at the Numaligarh Refinery Limited. He's laying the foundation for this. It's also an initiative that's going to transform Assam into a key player in India's energy landscape. So Golaghat is now the center of focus in terms of India's energy security needs. The Numaligarh Refinery Limited is actually a subsidiary of the Oil India Limited. We talk about import reduction. It's going to cut India's imports quite significantly, saving about 85 million US dollars. That's what some estimates put it. We continue to remain with these visuals of the development push in Assam. This is part of the Prime Minister's second day events scheduled for the Prime Minister's visit in Assam. Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister had visited Darang district, and now he is in Golaghat. This is the Numaligarh refinery. It's a bio-ethanol plant. It reduces our dependence on imports of fossil fuels to a large extent. Also improves India's sustainability targets, zero waste, green electricity, net zero goals, all these kept in mind. We continue to stay with these visuals as the Prime Minister talks to personnel involved in the bioethanol plant. We understand that this is a unique method. The technology is use of bamboo biomass. Now we know that bamboo is, as we can see in these visuals also, bamboo is abundant in the northeast of India. And so there's not going to be any shortage of it, but also it's going to help in the agricultural sector of, producing bamboo, creating jobs for bamboo farming, harvesting, logistics, And now, apart from that, the bioethanol plant will also be creating jobs in that sector. Now, what's going to happen is that this is a zero waste facility because every part of the bamboo is going to be utilized, and there's also going to be electricity generation through it, which is going to generate about 25 megawatts of renewable power. And it's going to produce about nearly 50,000 metric tons of ethanol every year. At least that's the output capacity as per reports. But apart from that, it's going to produce various other aspects from the ethanol, which is, subproducts, which can also be utilized in industry. And the achievement that they're talking about is about 99.7% pure ethanol that was achieved in trial runs. This is part of a huge project of infrastructure development in the state of Assam, which is the largest state in the northeast of India. And in fact, this is part of a huge development project plan, a package of 18,530 crore rupees. We do know that earlier in the day, the Prime Minister had also been to Darang. We gave you the news about all the developments there. So day 2 of the Prime Minister's visit to Assam, the Prime Minister had laid foundation stones of projects worth about 6,000 crore rupees at Mangaldoy in Darang district. And that included a medical college and hospital, a school, a nursing college. So this is going to improve the healthcare and healthcare delivery system in the region. Then there was this major project for which the foundation stone was laid, which is the Kuruva Narengi Bridge. And this is a connectivity bridge over the river Brahmaputra. It's going to improve connectivity, promoting socio-economic development in the region. And that was earlier in the morning. Now the Prime Minister has moved to Golaghat. And here, as we see, he has inaugurated the Assam Bio-Ethanol Private Limited Numaligarh Refinery plant. It's a groundbreaking initiative for clean energy. Now, the Numaligarh Refinery Limited is a subsidiary of Oil India Limited. And there are 2 projects here. One is the polypropylene plant at the Numaligarh Refinery Limited. It's a major petrochemical initiative. It's going to transform Assam into a key player for, not only the energy landscape, but also the industrial landscape. So polypropylene production is going to increase to about 360 kilotons per annum. It's an investment about 7,000 crore rupees in that project. The polymer grade polypropylene is going to be a unit of NRL's expansion project. We know that it's used in packaging and textiles as well, and automotive parts and consumer goods, all those things. So that will happen in the future. It's going to happen soon after this project, but it's going to be in Golaghat, so I am pointing you in that direction. So both these are projects of the Numaligarh Refinery plant. We are continuing to stay with the Bio-Ethanol Private Limited inauguration because this is a project that has taken place. This is an inauguration. The other project that I was speaking about earlier is actually a foundation stone. So it's a project that is in construction. Now let's recap a little bit here about this bioethanol plant. It is part of India's clean energy landscape. Its location is Numaligarh, Golaghat district, Assam. It is also has some Finnish companies involved, so it's a joint venture between Numaligarh Refinery Limited, a subsidiary of Oil India Limited, and also some Finnish companies, Fortum and Chempolis. These are the companies, they are Finnish companies that are participating in this project. This program had started in 2018 and is completed now. It had an investment of about 5,000 crore rupees. The modus operandi, or the system that is being used, the technology rather, is to use bamboo biomass. It's abundant in the northeast of India. They're looking at a capacity of about 50,000 metric tons a year of ethanol. Then also furfural, which is about 19,000 metric tons a year. Acetic acid, about 11,000 metric tons a year. Then they're looking also at food grade carbon dioxide, which is about 31,000 metric tons a year. The purity achieved is going to be 99.7% pure ethanol. In fact, this has already been achieved. It's in trial runs, it had achieved 99.7% pure ethanol. The key aim of this, or the key features, are that it is a zero waste facility, because every part of the bamboo is utilized. And it's going to generate green electricity, something in the order of about 25 megawatts of renewable energy. So that's a byproduct actually. But the net zero goals are in focus, as we can see. Then there is obviously impact on the bigger energy security of India, which is really something that is very significant when we look at this project. The energy independence of our country, because it's reducing our reliance on imports of fossil fuels, as well as our reliance on fossil fuels. That's from the clean energy point of view. But it's a huge economic boost for this region. The northeast of India has been looking for investments of this kind to create jobs. And this is a massive job creating investment, not only creating direct jobs in the bioethanol plant, but there's going to be indirect jobs created in the bamboo farming sector, in the harvesting sector, in the logistics sector. And significantly, on the overall scheme of things, it's going to be reducing India's imports substantially. In fact, because of the ethanol blending targets of 20%, which was achieved in 2025, and this is going to increase that production towards that ethanol blending in our fuel, it's going to reduce our imports by 20%, one would say, mathematically. Prime Minister has been visiting the northeast of India, and this is the second day of his visit. He's in Assam, and he did go to Darang in the morning, and now he's in Golaghat. So in the state of Assam, the package that the Prime Minister has brought with him is worth 18,530 crore rupees. 18,530 crore rupees, a massive infusion of investment into this northeastern state, which is rich in mineral resources. So we look at it from various angles, and we can see that this facility isn't just a refinery. It's about India's progress towards clean energy, but also innovation, because it's utilizing the strengths of the region. Bamboo. Bamboo is available in large quantities there. So it's about innovation and sustainability as well. And then it is going to create further job opportunities and integration into the northeast economy, And we can see that the Northeast is also a significant contributor to India's movement towards the East, because it acts as a bridge between India and many of the East Asian economies, the Southeast Asian economies in particular. So there could be long-term benefits as well from these kind of projects. Currently, even from the domestic point of view, it is a huge saving. The Minister for Petroleum, the Minister for Shipping, and the Chief Minister of Assam are there, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is part of the Prime Minister's program in the Northeast. In fact, we can recall even yesterday the Prime Minister had a series of programs in Manipur, and then he had also visited Mizoram. So he is now visiting Assam. And we can see clearly that there has been tremendous focus on the Northeast by this administration over the last decade plus, since 2014, since Prime Minister Modi took office. In fact, the Northeast has received large investments, and also ministers have traveled regularly to the Northeast. The Northeast is a collection of 8 states, 7 sisters and 1 brother. And basically the states that are contiguous to each other are called the sisters, and Sikkim, which is separated by a little bit of land, is called the brother. And they sent 25 MPs to Parliament, all the states together. They are very diverse. Each region has an identity of its own. Large tribal populations in the Northeast, which has great cultural heritage, preservation of the cultural diversity of India. The region is rich in many, many resources, but also rich in language, because there are about 200 plus tribes and they all speak different languages in the region. So it is really a beautiful unity of the rich diversity of India in one particular area. Today is Hindi Divas, and you can see also the Prime Minister is interacting with a large number of locals. He continues to hear the voices of the common man, and in a one-on-one is a position to understand their concerns and implement solutions for problems. So hands-on approach. Prime Minister Modi has been posting on X, Assam's healthcare sector is poised for a major upgrade. That's what he said when he was in Darang. The 14th of September is going to be devoted to the development of Assam. Projects worth 18,530 crore rupees inaugurated, or the foundation stone would be laid. So what the Prime Minister has been speaking about, and he also talked about Bhupen Hazarika's memories, his dreams for the Northeast. And he wants all these things to come true. Great cultural icon, musician, author, singer Bhupen Hazarika. And whose music is also linked very closely with the Brahmaputra River, which is culturally also very important symbol of Northeastern unity. And today, in fact, earlier in the day, Prime Minister had laid the foundation stone for major project, which is a connectivity project, the Kuruva Narengi Bridge, which is over the river Brahmaputra. It's going to improve connectivity and also the socio-economic development of the region. We continue to stay with these visuals. The Prime Minister was at the Assam Bio-Ethanol Private Limited project, which he inaugurated a short while ago. Numaligarh Refinery plant. This is a groundbreaking initiative for clean energy in India. It's a project which is a joint venture between the Numaligarh Refinery Limited, which is a subsidiary of Oil India Limited, and two Finnish companies, Fortum and Chempolis. The project has taken about 7 years to complete, and it has seen an investment of about 5,000 crore rupees. It's a bioethanol plant focusing on biomass of bamboo, which we know is abundant in the Northeast. The aim is to create output capacity for ethanol, which is about 50,000 metric tons per year, various other byproducts as well, which can be utilized. And this is a project which is looking at sustainability. Because of the bamboo, they're looking at zero waste, so they're looking at the byproducts also creating energy, green electricity, which is generating about 25 megawatts of renewable power. Then there is the net zero goal, supporting India's push for carbon neutrality. But the big picture then is that it reduces India's reliance on fossil fuels. And that creates its own economic development within the region, because the need for ethanol in a blending with petrol is going to create several jobs directly from this plant, and then several indirect jobs as well because of the agriculture sector, which is associated with bamboo, not only in the cultivation of bamboo, but in then the processing of bamboo, the collection of it and distribution of it, and also the use of the byproducts. All these aspects can be, subsidiary jobs that are associated with this bioethanol plant. The sourcing of the biofuels, in a sense, and the distribution, the source, the input costs and the output. And let's cast ahead what the Prime Minister will be doing as well in the same region. And during the next, we'll get these visuals too. The Prime Minister is going to be laying the foundation stone for another project, which is the polypropylene production unit, This is going to have an investment of about 7,000 crore rupees. And the aim, of course, is to generate these homopolymer grade propylene, which is going to be used in packaging and textiles, also in automobiles, consumer goods. So here again, going to create a number of jobs, create engines of growth in the northeastern region of the country, government investments. The Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Hardeep Singh Puri, and the Chief Minister of Assam in the frame earlier. The Prime Minister is accompanied by the Minister for Shipping, Sarbanand Sonowal, who hails from the state, a former Chief Minister of Assam, and the Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, whose ministry is directly involved in this project. And of course, the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, is naturally present since this event is taking place in the state. We continue to show you these visuals of the Prime Minister in Assam, in Golaghat. This is the Bio-Ethanol plant. This is part of the Prime Minister's development initiatives and push in Assam. He inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of key projects, and currently he is in Golaghat, where the Prime Minister has inaugurated the Assam Bio-Ethanol plant. It's going to promote clean energy and also reduce dependence on fossil fuels and imports. The Union Minister for Oil and Petroleum and Natural Gas, Hardeep Singh Puri, the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, and the Minister for Shipping, also former Chief Minister of Assam and an MP from there, Sarbanand Sonowal, are present on the occasion. In fact, as I was saying earlier, that the Northeast is a place that is rich in cultural diversity because of the large tribal populations. More than 200 tribes exist in different parts of the Northeast. And well, earlier in the day, in fact, the Prime Minister had spoken in the last 2 days, spoken about the rights of tribals and the youth, and about safeguarding their interests. One of the big concerns in the state of Assam is infiltration. So the Prime Minister made it clear that the government would not allow infiltrators to take away land which belongs to the people, the tribal communities in particular. Talking about how this technology works, the Prime Minister is being given an understanding of it. This is a unique technology that is utilizing every little aspect of the bamboo, the feedstock, the bamboo biomass. And it's going to be used to generate not only ethanol, it's going to generate furfural, acetic acid, food grade carbon dioxide. It's also going to create green electricity, which is all part of the byproducts of this scheme. Prime Minister with Chief Minister and 2 ministers, union ministers, in that previous photograph. Once again, being felicitated. These visuals have come in a short while ago. So there's a lot of innovation involved in using bamboo to create bioethanol. In fact, this is bioethanol, which is non-food biomass, which is important also because, you know, bamboo is not used as food. But bamboo can it requires some sort of pre-treatment because of its texture. And then the fermentation takes place. Then it's distilled. The process is called enzymatic hydrolysis. So first there's a pre-treatment, then there's some sort of a hydrolysis, an enzymatic hydrolysis, which uses the sort of the cellulose content in bamboo. And the fermentation uses microorganisms such as yeast, fermenting the bamboo. It is a non-food crop and it's abundantly available, has certain it has benefits in that respect. There are going to be some sort of decentralized aggregation centers as well. In fact, we are moving on to our next visual. These visuals are live from Golaghat, and we can see that it's raining heavily there. People have come in large numbers despite the rain to